Okay, guys, I need to make a quick correction. So here, day 3 was still covering the same standard. You're going to talk about when angles are outside of the circle. Right here, the rule tells you take the big arc and minus it from the little arc and then divide it by 2. Simple forms of this is the angle equals the big arc minus the little arc, divide that by 2. All right, so here is where I made the mistake at. So let me fix the math. I'm going to do this problem over again for you guys. So let's clear it up. Okay, so I'm dealing with the inscribed. I'm dealing with the not an inscribed angle, but an angle outside of the circle, which is an exterior angle. So the rule tells me to do the angle equals the big arc minus the little arc, divide by 2. So if I look here, this is the small arc, this is the big arc. Well, let me do that in a different color. This is the big arc, and in yellow here is your angle. So I'm going to do the math here. So that tells me to set this up as 7x plus 6 equals the big arc is 22x plus 6. And here's where I need you to be careful at. That minus sign, because this is a binomial, make sure you put the little arc in parentheses, so that you can get this correct. So now we're going to do our rule and divide this by 2 over here. We're going to use our rule is first I'm going to go ahead and distribute the, give me a second, wait a minute. I am going to put the 2 here because that's the rule, and I'm going to get rid of that fraction to start with so that I can make my life easier when I get ready to do the math. So here I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. So multiply this by 2 and multiply this by 2 to get rid of the 2. So here I get 14x plus 12 equals 22x plus 6 minus 7x plus 1. Now you can put your golden line and do the math. Variables on the left, constants on the right. So I get 14x plus 12 equals 22x plus 6. This is a -1 here. So what this negative tells you to do is change the sign of these two terms inside of that parentheses. So you get 22x plus 6. And I'm going to write them in a different color so you can see. The opposite, so you do -1 times 7 is -7x, and -1 times +1 is -1. So now you can go through. Nothing's happening on the left side yet. Combine like terms now. 22x minus 7x. Let's grab the calculator, make sure we get that right. So 22 minus 7 equals 15x. And then 6 minus 1 is plus 5. And here, variables on the left, constants on the right. So I'm going to minus 12, cross over the line, you change the sign. So you get 14x equals 15x minus 7 minus 15x from both sides. And I get -1x equals -7. Divide by -1 on both sides. Divide by -1. X equals 7. And you did it. Alright, so go ahead and go through and finish the rest of the problems. Just make sure you are very careful with that negative sign Make sure you distribute the negative in that parentheses, and you'll be good to go. And see you guys on tomorrow.